And you're very welcome to the Green in Comber for this, the final day of the IP20 Festival, featuring the Irish interprovincial sides. I'm John Kenny, together with Isabel Joyce, bringing you coverage of this match 5 of the series. We're due to start at 10:30 this morning, but the outfield has remained stubbornly wet, and after a 2-hour delay we will finally get underway at 12:35 with the Knights taking on the Munster Reds, and it's a revised number of overs down to 10, with the power play 3 overs, 2 overs per bowler, and we will be starting at 12:35. And firstly, we've got to find out who's going to be batting first, so let's join Isabel Joyce at the toss.
Welcome to the side of the pitch for the toss. I'm joined by match referee Phil Thompson, captain of the Munster Reds Tyrone Kane, and captain of the Northern Knights Harry Tector. Phil has the coin and Tyrone will call.
Okay. Heads the call. Tails it is.
We're going to bowl.
Okay.
So Harry, you've won the toss. What have you decided to do and why?
We're going to bowl. Just it looks like a good pitch from yesterday, and it looked like a difficult ground to defend, so not too sure what a good score is, and just back ourselves to chase whatever they get.
So do you have any idea what you're going to try and keep them under in this reduced match?
Well, I guess they batted very well yesterday, went to 10 over, so anything under that I think would be pretty decent effort. You know, with wickets in hand, reduced game, they can sort of afford to go pretty hard, so we'll see what it's like out there and go from there.
It's been a long couple of days watching the weather for you guys. First time out in the ground. Is it difficult to motivate your team for this match?
I don't think so. Everyone's looking forward to getting out there and hopefully give their best for 10 overs and then hopefully just chase down.
Any team news that we should know about?
Cian Robertson and Tom Mays are making their debut, and Morgan Toppin's coming in for his first game in a while. So.
Okay, great. Well, best of luck in the match, Tyrone.
Thanks.
What would you have done had you won the toss?
Yeah, we'd probably have a bowl as well. Just conditions yesterday, we bowled first yesterday, and same as Harry said, you're happy enough to chase anything down. But same as he said, if we're going at 10s and stuff, batting first, it's going to be a good total anyway. So.
You must have been really pleased, not just with the win yesterday, but the manner in which your team went about that run chase.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the way we're trying to play our cricket, is don't worry about the 20 overs. I think it was the 16 overs was the bonus point, so if we were trying to chase it before then, that's what we set out to do, and we achieved it.
And any team news for us?
Mitchell Thompson's in, and Liam McCarthy is in to make his debut.
And who's going to miss out?
Missing out is Greg Ford and Gareth Delaney.
Okay, well, best of luck.
Thanks, Liz.
That's the news from the toss. The Northern Knights have won it and they've elected to bowl.
Thanks, Isabel. Now, this is the way the teams stand. We, unfortunately, on Friday had 2 matches washed out. The Knights against the Northwest Warriors and Leinster Lightning against the Munster Reds. And yesterday morning, Northern Knights against Leinster Lightning. That game was also abandoned. There was one game yesterday where the Munster Reds denied Northwest Warriors the chance to win the title yesterday by beating them by 6 wickets. So there we stand with the Interprovincial Trophy standings. Now, Reds and the Knights, if the Knights win, you could see they'll get 4 points and move level with the Warriors on 20 points. But if the Lightning win, then they will take the title. So this is a bit of a consolation match, this 10-over game between the Knights and the Munster Reds. So the Warriors and the Leinster Lightning playing in the second and the final match this weekend, due to start at 3 o'clock. It's pretty much a winner-take-all situation there. Warriors looking for their first IP20 title. Leinster Lightning obviously have won it on multiple occasions. So weather set fair this afternoon, so it looks like we're going to have a title decided between the Warriors and the Leinster Lightning. But we will concentrate first, Isabel Joyce, on the first game between the Northern Knights and the Munster Reds. And you got the team news there. At the toss, Munster Reds, no Gareth Delaney or Greg Ford in their side. They've got number 3 Mitchell Thompson, the 19-year-old, and Lee McCarthy, wearing number 85, the 19-year-old from Johannesburg, making his debut today.
Yeah, exciting day for him. I think it's always good for these kinds of games. If there's nothing really to be got out of it in terms of winning the tournament, then you can get some energy into your team by bringing a few youngsters in. There's always meaning for them because they're playing for their future, really. So a good opportunity for Liam McCarthy and Mitchell Thompson, who of course has played a good bit of cricket, but didn't get selected yesterday.
Yeah, Gareth Delaney, it's no real surprise that Gareth, who scored 60 runs yesterday, has been taken out of this because the T20 World Cup is coming up and the squad is leaving on Friday, so they're not going to take a chance because the outfield is still quite slippy. And it's also determined the Northern Knights team as well, because we don't have Mark Adair or Paul Sterling, which is a shame for those who are going to turn up and see hopefully a bit of power batting from Paul Sterling. And James Hunter, the 18-year-old, is also left out of their a squad. So Harry Tector, Jeremy Lawler, Arun Pretorius, Neil Rock, Ben White, John Matchett, Ross Adair, David Delaney, Tom Mays makes his debut along with Keane Robertson and Morgan Topping. What do you make to their squad?
Well, Tom Mays and Keane Robertson are being rewarded for good form in club cricket. You love to see that, that when you do perform at club level, that you're going to get rewarded by being selected to the your provincial team. So Tom Mays and Keane Robertson, 33 wickets each for them this season, which is a huge return, but they'll find it a bit more difficult obviously bowling against this Munster Reds team that look red hot really with the bat. Obviously no Gareth Delaney, but Matt Ford was imperious yesterday, and they've plenty more dangerous batters. It's going to be difficult to see the Northern Knights come out on top, but they do have a good bowling lineup, and those two will be central to it. And Morgan Topping, we'll see him with the bat later on. He performed really well in the Future Series. He was the leading run scorer there, even though it was the Lightning Bolts that won. So yeah, some youngsters coming in for both teams, and I think it adds a bit more meaning to this game for the Knights and the Reds. So
it's a short, sharp contest. This just 10 overs aside. A maximum we can bowl for every bowler is 2. So we're going to see for the Munster Reds opening the batting today, Murray Commons and the Zimbabwean 31-year-old PJ Moore, who has joined us in commentary in the past here at MBV Studios, bringing this presentation here from the green in Comber. And opening the bowling is Ross Adair. His brother's not involved today, but the 27-year-old Ross Adair is who's going to open the bowling for the Northern Knights, who, remember, have won the toss and have asked Munster Reds to bat. So our two match officials today out there, the umpires, Aidan Sheaver and Rhodey Black, and the pavilion end is where we will open the bowling. The far end is the Mount Alexander end. So short, sharp 10 over match to open this, the final day of the domestic season, and already a run on the board.
Yeah, looking to fire that into leg stump. There is a slip there, so he expects to get some turn. Ross Adair probably just wanted to get that one away. There's protection at long on and square leg.
There's a fielder down there. Just a single. Nicely struck by PJ Moore, but the fielder down there just nice and safely at the mid-wicket boundary, prevents it going for a boundary. So changing the field because of the left-right combination out there. More off the mark and off the mark nicely as well.
Yeah, really good footwork. That came at decent pace. It was short, but you need to be quick at your footwork to play a cross-bat shot to a left-arm spinner. It can be dangerous. Murray Commons facing his first delivery of the day now.
He's on a golden double here at for naught yesterday. Murray Commons on a pair. One slip in place, and the man on the drive. Commons will be delighted to get off the mark.
Yeah, Harry Tector operating right at the edge of that ring. It's not far from the boundary, to be honest. Sometimes it's not a good option to have that fielder out in the boundary, because in fact I think Harry Tector probably backs himself to run back and catch anything on the rope, but he was in position for if that one was lifted over his head from Murray Commons.
Runs will have to come quickly here. I might think about a second here. No, won't test the arm. Good fielding, just keeps it down to a single.
Yeah, really good from John Matchett. He was off the boundary rope really quickly. I think they thought it was 2 straight away, Moore and Commons, but he read that really well. They're going to take slip out and add another fielder on the offside for the left-handed Murray Commons.
It really is a stacked offside field, isn't it? That's good bowling.
Really bowling very, very quickly here. Ross Adair not looking to give any flight. It is dangerous to give flight in this ground. You can get hit over your head so easily. It's only really a chip. The bottom edge and goes through the keeper's legs. That's unlucky.
Good work by the fielder to cut off the potential boundary. Very short boundary down there at the far end. That ends the first over, and the Munster Reds, having lost the toss, have been asked to bat 6 without loss.
Decent over that from Ross Adair at the toss. Harry Tector said if they could keep the Munster Reds to below a 10 and over, he'd be happy. So his opening bowler has done a good job there for him. It'll be Tom Mays on debut, taking the new ball from the far end. That's the Mount Alexander end. Really exciting moment for any youngster.
Just 19 years of age on debut. Finished up the third leading wicket taker in the NCU with 33 wickets. He's played for the emerging Knights side as well. 19-year-old seamer from South Africa. His father hails from Dublin. Tom Mays on debut.
Yeah, just strays down leg side. A wide first ball from each of the opening bowlers. A little bit rusty perhaps from sitting around watching the rain sit on the outfield here at North Down Cricket Club. It's been a frustrating few days for the Knights. They've drawn the morning match each of the 3 days of this festival weekend.
That's cracked away, and that should be out. And his first legitimate ball at interbrow level gets a wicket for Tom Mays. The man on the square boundary takes it. Simple catch in the end. Just never really got hold of that.
It was a poor delivery, if we're honest. It was too short, and PJ Moore just didn't really hit it. I think that'll be the disappointment for him. He should have been looking to launch that one over the trees, but he's got to go for 2. And it's the first wicket for the Munster Reds and the first wicket on debut for Mays.
Well, here was the man of the match yesterday, the player of the match, Matt Ford, coming in at number 3. Wonderful innings yesterday, 63, which earned him that accolade to take the Reds over the line and deny the Warriors the chance to win the T20 IP series outright. 63 not out. Gareth Delaney at the top of the order, 60 from 34 deliveries as well, ably backed up by the likes of Tyrone Kane towards the end of the innings to give the Munster Reds a 6-wicket win. But he comes in now with the side having lost their first wickets to join Murray Commons out in the middle.
Floated really by Tom Mays, looked to go fuller, and it's nicely played through the covers by Matt Ford. Good effort in the deep, but actually brings the ball over with him. That's the first boundary of the innings.
Long forlorn chase. And there, this comes back off to the pitch, and he's slightly limping. It's a long chase and a big dive from Ben White, but he couldn't keep it in, and he's come back onto the pitch limping a little bit. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, sometimes rolling over the rope it's a bit painful, but he'll recover quick enough.
That's an area of the ground out there where White ran to, where they were concerned about. It's still pretty damp out there. So they haven't risked the Irish internationals, the likes of Adair and Sterling and Gareth Delaney as well. And I think it's a wise and precautionary move as well, especially in a 10-over game. and the World Cup looming as well. There's no point in risking your internationals at this stage, and especially on a pitch that it's actually outfield is still pretty damp.
Well, especially when neither team can win the tournament either. I think it could possibly be different if they could lift the trophy. Hopefully it's good enough, and I think the umpires are very mindful of their duty to the players, and they wouldn't play if they didn't think that it was safe. So Murray Commons, that's a really, really good ball from Tom Mays. That's the first time he's probably found the right line and length. It's been either too short or too full. I know he got that wicket and it was an easy catch really for Jeremy Lawler in the deep, but poor placement and just didn't really hit the ball. PJ Moore.
Down the track he comes, and that's a lovely shot through the covers for 4 and a welcome boundary.
Beautifully played by Murray Commons. Danced down, got the width that he wanted, and just got the hands through it. Good balance on the front foot. Lovely to watch.
Commons moves on to 7. Final ball then of this second over on debut from Mays, who's taken a wicket in this over. But a concession of a couple of boundaries as well. Oh, and there's a slip on the field, so they're going to run through for the second. That wasn't great from John Matchett. Through his fingers, and they run through for a second. And that takes us to the end of the second over with the Munster Reds on 18 for 1.
Wasn't too costly, that misfield in the deep by Matchett. Just looked up at the last second. It's a classic one. You think about the next thing you're going to do. He was thinking about the throw before he had the ball in his hands, but the outfield pretty slow, so just conceded the one extra run.
That's a good start from the Reds, despite the loss of PJ Moore for 3. 18 for 1 off their opening 2 overs is a good return. 9 runs and over. And there's going to be another change of bowling. The spinner Ross Adair opened the bowling for the Northern Knights. They've dispensed with spin, and David Delaney is coming on now from the pavilion end.
He's been stretching right in front of us for the duration of the match so far. He's been raring to go since Friday. It's his first bowl of the weekend. Inside edge and fortuitous from Matt Ford. That one's raced away to the boundary, not where he meant it, but it goes down the scorebook the same.
I'm going to say, yeah, no cameras out here, but there is, of course. So, big, thick inside edge. No chance for the wicketkeeper. And he watches it trundle over the line. Very short boundary down there, so it gets there pretty quickly, despite the wet outfield.
Good pace from David Delaney already.
That was nicely placed by Ford, actually. Just a quick drop and run into the leg side. Pick up a quick single. It's all about keeping the scoreboard ticking over in a 10 over match, isn't it? Just try and get as many as you possibly can. And it could be an unorthodox 8 overs to come here. Just try and get as many runs as you can. Thick inside edges, little drop and runs. Keep it all ticking over and trying to accumulate a score, because you can't get a par score in a 10 over match, but it's all about scoring as many as you possibly can. But this is a good start from the Reds.
Chance, but
And that was coming our way. We had to duck. It's gone over our 10th, thankfully, but that was straight down the ground towards the commentary position.
that's the problem when you bowl this quick. It goes fast. Lifted it over mid-off. One bounce and almost straight into our position here.
Yeah, you couldn't see our 10th from around the scaffolding there, but I can tell you that ball was close. Just bounced over Isabel's head. Little manoeuvre we had to get out of the way of the ball. It was nicely struck, and it was coming at us with power and pace.
Murray Commons looks like he's going to go from the very start here. That wasn't a regular shot you'd see in the third over. Good comeback from David Delaney. Really exciting prospect, David Delaney, when he's on form. Just bowls with such good pace. Matt Ford, though, he's picked up where he left off yesterday. 10 from 4 already. Slip's coming out. They're going to bring the slip into mid-wicket. There was previously no fielder in there, so he's obviously going to try and look to bowl straight. Protection is currently out at square leg. This is the last over of the power play. There's also a man at deep backward point. Bouncer top edge and gone again.
Try the short one. Didn't work. Nicely paddled away by Ford. The runs are coming thick and fast in this over now. That's the third boundary in 5 deliveries. Expensive from Delaney.
It's actually a really good bouncer. He's bowled it exactly where you're told to. Hit the badge, but Ford just about managed to get some bat on it. It's been quite unlucky this over, David Delaney. That could have easily gone to the wicketkeeper.
That's a single to end the over. Expensive one too. 13 from it. And that ends the third over of the 10. And the Munster Reds asked to bat. 33 for 1.
It was in fact 15 from it. 3 boundaries and 3 singles. And I think what's impressive, John, you alluded to it earlier, is that there were no dot balls. They're making sure that if they're not hitting a boundary, they're at least getting a single. I think that last shot from Matt Ford shows you that he's not just a clubber of the ball. He danced down, and when it wasn't there for him to smash it, he had really good hands and got it to the boundary fielder. That's the end of the power play. Good one for the Munster Reds, 33 for 1.
Gonna have a change of bowling as well. Rune Pretorius, the 30-year-old from East London, Cape Province in South Africa. Moved to Northern Ireland in 2019. He will become eligible for international selection through residency in 2022, and he starts with a dot ball. Good start.
A good Yorker to start. Straight on the money. The opening bowlers both bowled a wide first ball of their overs, but he's been good. He's also a good pace, I think, for this wicket. Not as quick as David Delaney, so you have to generate a bit more pace. Good foot there from Rune Pretorius. I think it would have been cut off in the deep. There are 2 fielders out there, long off and long on. But it is so short, you don't want to give it a chance.
PJ Moore, the man, out for 3, and the score was on 7. So a good partnership this between Commons and Ford. In the air, there's a fielder down there. Lawler coming in from the fence and takes a very good catch. Had to go down to the ground to complete it, and it was in the air for an awful long time, but he kept his eye on the prize, and that's the second wicket to fall with the score on 34. Excellent catch. Big, high ball. Comes down and takes the catch low down, and Munster Reds lose their second wicket.
Yeah, Commons goes for 14. It was a good catch in the end. Never easy, those ones that come out sliced off the outside edge. Murray Commons looking to hit it straight down the ground, but a little bit of movement for Pretorius meant it took the outside half of the bat. Lawler watched it all the way and just died a little bit on him. So it's the captain coming in, Tyrone Kane. He'll be wanting to build on his innings yesterday. He looked pretty good while he was in, but got out before the game was over, which will have been the disappointment for him. Made 14 from 10 balls.
Yeah, they can't hang around out there. Wickets will fall because there's only 6.3 overs remaining, so it's a case of getting as many runs on the board as you possibly can. No point in hanging around. 34 for 2 in the fourth over now. Oh, that's sliced away. Backward point. thought he was in the game for a second there, but it flew past him, and a welcome boundary.
Yeah, well, he swung hard, didn't he? And he managed to get the look. It went down the track and in between short third man and backward point. That could have easily gone to the fielder, and you can see the Leinster Lightning guys there. They knew how lucky that was for Matt Ford. And Neil Rock's going to get the helmet on. He's decided he's going to stand up to the stumps, try and keep Matt Ford, keep him honest, keep him in the crease. I think, though, he might just continue to dance down, back himself to hit the ball.
Single down the ground. There was a fielder down there. The Knights captain, Harry Tector. Just 21 years of age, captain of the Wolves as well, and part of the T20 World Cup squad too. Harry Tector. Brother is captaining the Ireland under-19s in their opening match against the Netherlands at the under-19 World Cup qualifying tournament. Netherlands are batting there. They're 97 for 2 after 29 overs, we're hearing. 97 for 2. Big appeal. Not out.
4 overs gone. Munster has 39 for 2.
Just the 2 overs each for the bowlers in this 10 over match. Just the 4 bowlers used so far. Adair, Mays, who took a wicket with his first official ball on debut, and Delaney got a bit of tap. Pretorius 1 for 6, a good first over from him, and there's going to be another change of bowling now. Wearing 19, 22-year-old Ben White coming on from the pavilion end.
Yeah, really exciting time for Ben White. He's made the move north, and it's really been a big change for him. He's the top wicket taker in the IP20 this year so far. Great control for a leg spinner. I think that's the really impressive thing from Ben White. Starts with a dot. Really good lengths as well. Difficult to get underneath him with the turn. He's getting away from the right-hander, but not short enough to get on the back foot.
This is very good from White. They're going to scramble through for the single. Oh, and the shy at the stumps from the wicketkeeper. Oh, somebody backing up there. So, well, they were going to have to take on the arm eventually. Get as many runs on the board in this 10 over a side game. First 2 balls were dot balls. This is a good start from Ben White.
Excellent bowling from Ben White. Just small little changes in this line and the length. You're going to bring a slip in for Tyrone Kane. Good attacking captaincy. Good manipulation from Tyrone Kane there. Gets the ball down to long on. Manipulates his wrists.
Well, you can see there how sticky it is in the outfield with the outfield, and Harry Tector just had a shot there, came through and got his stud stuck as Ben White takes the wicket of Ford, dies swinging, and that's the 3rd wicket down, and he's gone for 21. But there was just that little moment there before the wicket was taken. Ben White puts it straight through the gate where Harry Tector talked to the tent next to us where the match referee Phil Thompson is, and he says it's madness playing out there. He says it's obviously, he thinks it's dangerous in the outfield. But anyway, that's the end of Tyrone Kane, is it?
No, that's actually Matt Ford.
Yeah, Matt Ford's gone. So 41 for 3.
Really good change up from Ben White there. Just gave a little bit more flight, got the dip in. And he knew that Matt Ford had faced a couple of dots and saw the big shot coming. Bowled a little bit fuller and it just wasn't there for the slog sweep. Matt Ford has to go. That's a huge wicket really for the Northern Knights, because Matt Ford, we saw yesterday, is just has all the shots and can really accelerate very easily. Made 63 not out, player of the match performance, and it's Fionn Hand who'll replace him.
And good afternoon to the Fionn Hand Appreciation Society, who are no doubt tuned in again today. Ever growing band of Fionn Hand Appreciation Society boys and girls. First met them in Pembroke at the early part of the season. They were a good voice. So your man's at the crease at the moment. A very good start from Ben White. Takes a wicket. And at the end of that over, 41 for 3.
So the Munster Reds are halfway through their allotted 10 overs. 41 runs on the board, 3 wickets gone. But 2 new batsmen at the crease. That's what will please the Northern Knights the most. Not the easiest to get going out there in the Green and North Down Cricket Club in Comber.
Well, Harry Tector was not pleased. We saw that in the last over where his spikes got caught in the turf. He was not happy with the conditions of the ground and has said it now to the umpires that he's not happy with the conditions out there.
So Tom Mays returns for his second over. Good contact from Tyrone Kane, but a good hand from Mays over his head. Stops any runs. The thing for me with that, complaining to the match referee on the sideline, you're out there, you're playing the match. It's happening. Like, no matter what you say, he's registered as displeasure at the conditions, but if you think about it too much, actually it's going to impact his cricket, and sometimes it can create an injury, so he needs to just get on with it. I think quick running, if he hits it could be trouble for Fionn Hand, but Mays doesn't hit.
I think he was out if he was hit. Hand had given up the chase.
Yeah, you could see his body language afterwards. He knew he was in trouble. Tyrone Kane just walking down to his partner, maybe to say, let's not run that one next time.
I think they'll have to push, the 4.4 overs left. The run rate's dropped considerably now from overs, it was nearly 11. And it's now 7.88. As you say, the 2 new batsmen at the crease as well, and that's going to please the Knights.
Yeah, good captaincy as well, bringing back his debutant. Thick edge, and that races away. That's one bounce over the rope. Fortuitous from Fionn Hand. There's a good thick edge, a healthy edge, and his first boundary of the day.
And I can see the Appreciation Society up off the couches in celebration of their man getting a handy boundary. Big thick edge flew to the ropes.
Well, it's the second time now we've seen him playing the back foot without actually moving his back foot. He needs to get closer to the ball. Goes straight to the fielder at 45. Good running from Tyrone Kane as soon as that was on its way off the pad of Fionn Hand. He was galloping down the wicket.
And if you're just joining us, very welcome. John Kenny and Isabel Joyce bringing the coverage of this reduced overs match, 10 overs aside, the consolation game really in this series between the Knights and the Munster Reds. Neither side can win the title. It will go down to the final match of the day starting at 3 o'clock between the Leinster Lightning and the Northwest Warriors, who currently lead the table by 2 points. Some of the big names have been left out. Mark Adair, Paul Sterling not involved for the Knights today ahead of the T20 World Cup. The squad are leaving on Friday, and no Gareth Delaney or Greg Ford involved for the Munster Reds. Delaney with welcome runs for him yesterday on his return from injury. That's pushed down the ground, just a single.
So 6 overs gone. Munster Reds 48 for 3.
Now there's the Munster Reds batting lineup. Moore was the first to go with a score of 7. Collins went with a score of 34, and then quickly followed by Matt Ford, who made 21 of 14 deliveries, the score of 41. Tyrone Kane and now Fionn Hand. There's still batting to come as well. But there's only 4 overs to go, so that's a case of just keeping the scoreboard ticking over and getting as many runs as you possibly can. And he gets a second wicket.
Yeah, I just suppose at such good pace, it's very difficult to play him on the back foot. Certainly to play him across the line. Tyrone Kane looking to accelerate. He's struggled really since he's come to the crease, and just too quick really. Took the bottom edge and he's gone.
That's Mitchell Thompson, new batsman this year, former Irish under-19 player, and he's on debut today for the Munster Reds, and he comes in at number 6 with his side on 48 for 4. Hand on 4. Thompson yet to face. Brilliant stuff from Ben White. 2-4 in his spell so far. Only 2 overs each.
One leg spinner to another. And often you see that in a 20 over game, let alone a 10 over game. A leave. Incredible spell from Ben White. He's gone for just 1 run. He's taken 2 wickets. Nicely clipped off the legs, just too full and a bit leg sided, but really good work in the deep from Ruan Pretorius. Good quick release, kept it to 1. I'm looking forward to seeing Cian Robertson on debut left arm spin. He's been warming up for a few overs now, possibly trying to get in the captain's mind that he's ready to go.
Yeah, Thompson's not a debutant. The other debutant will be Lee McCarthy for Munster. This is great stuff from Ben White. The likes of David Delaney got taken downtown in his one and only over so far, but look at those figures for White. Just the 2 runs and 2 wickets in 1.4 overs, and this is exactly why the run rate is falling all the time.
Nicely played by Fionn Hand, but it'll be just another single, so only 2 runs from the over so far. He is such a difficult bowler to get away, Ben White. I think it's, like I said, the pace he bowls at, but also the height he's coming from, bowls from a really tall position. Gets the ball to rush on to the batsman.
Last ball of White's spell then. And it ends with a dot ball. That's really, really good bowling. Just the 3 runs from his 2 overs and 2 wickets as well. And that really has stifled the Munster Reds. 50 for 4 now at the end of 7.
We're going to see the second debutant for the Northern Knights, Cian Robertson, left arm spinner. It'll be interesting to see if he's picked up from the other spinners that you should need to make sure you don't give too much air, especially on this ground. It's so short straight. You need to make sure you take the arms away from the batsman. Any kind of flight we saw yesterday just got punished.
He impressed massively in the future series, leading wicket taker in that competition. On debut, a 19-year-old.
Gives the flight, but good length. That was the key there. Yorked Fionn Hand, who could just about get a little bit of batting and scurry through. Good start for the youngster.
Yeah, moved to Northern Ireland from South Africa with his family earlier this year. Left arm spinner on debut. Makes a good start. Going through the umpire and half-hearted appeal.
It's a strange option there from Thompson looking to play the reverse. There are two men marshalling that area. Probably got more value playing the traditional sweep.
That's good bowling. It's a good start. And the Reds, the likes of Matt Ford getting 21 quick runs out there, have really been stifled in the last couple of overs. Ben White in particular, and now the debutant Robertson have cut off the supply.
That's it wide of long on. Early calls it 2, but Harry Tector in the deep misfield, so it'll be a second. And he's very unhappy in the deep.
Isn't he? He slipped us again there, and he just looks very unhappy, just turning away to his right hand side to see where the slip mark was. It's unlike Tector. He's one of the best fielders out there. To have a misfield like that, he's obviously very worried about the outfield conditions.
A hack from Fionn Hand, just hasn't really made proper contact with any deliveries so far. Frustration for him, a different type of frustration perhaps, but he's still out there in the middle, still 2.1 overs to go. Another 13 deliveries to try and get that total up as high as you can. Big appeal, but Rowley Black says no. That's 8 overs gone. Munster Reds 55 for 4.
Yeah, at one stage the way they were going, I thought the Munster Reds might get up to around 100, but that's a long way off now. Below 7 runs and over, when at one stage it was at 11. 55 for 4, 2 overs to go. And David Delaney is the man who's going to come back on again. It got a bit of smacking in his first over. There's the Munster Reds partnerships.
Yeah, Murray Commons and Matt Ford, when they were together, they were finding the scoring pretty easy going. But then Commons had a chance, and Matt Ford, well, he was out bowled by Ben White. He's been the standout, really, Ben White, since he's come on. 2 wickets for him. And Fionn Hand and Mitchell Thompson struggling at the moment. Just can't find the boundary. So David Delaney coming back. He did go for 15 in that first over, but at least 2 of those boundaries were pretty unlucky. One inside edge past the wicketkeeper's left hand, and then one top edge over the wicketkeeper.
Now to a very watchful Tector. It's a good arm from the Knights captain.
Good start to the over from David Delaney. Fionn Hand, his club mate, Clontarf, no doubt knows him pretty well, but goes both ways.
David Delaney actually played for the Munster Reds at one time. Digs one in short. And there was a short, fine leg there to cut that off. Just a single.
It's an interesting tactic from Delaney. The length he's bowling with, fine leg up at 45 and third man in the ring. You'd usually expect him to be bowling fuller with the field that he's got set, with long off, long on, deep, straight mid wicket, deep square leg and cover. Slower ball.
Ball in the air. Harry Tector's underneath that, is he? And he's just left it instead. A good running catch from Ross Adair, and you could actually hear Tector saying good catch as he was moving towards the ball. There was good understanding between those two. The ball was in the air for an awful long time. They could have collided. At least one took control of it. Good catch by Adair. Good running catch by Adair to get the 5th wicket.
Yeah, good understanding. I'm not sure I even heard a call, but Harry Tector saw Ross Adair running around. It was a good slower ball from David Delaney. Threw the shot too early there. So that's the end of Fionn Hand. Never really got going. So Jack Carty comes out into the middle. Recently won the All-Rounders trophy in Cricket Leinster. So best all-rounder in the competition this year. Left-handed, usually opens the batting in T20 and 50 over cricket, but that's what happens when you get into an interpro team. Everyone's an opener. We didn't see him bat or bowl yesterday, so the first time he'll really do something this weekend.
Yeah, so Fionn Hand departs. 10 runs off 10 deliveries for him. And Munster now 57 for 5. And they're running out of deliveries here. Just 9 to come. Walk through for a single. Two balls to come then in this, the penultimate over. David Delaney went for 15 in the first one. Just the 3 and the wicket as well.
Jack Carty will enjoy the pace on the ball from David Delaney, so he might be well advised to perhaps take the pace off. Jack Carty grew up in Queensland, so likes the pace on the ball. Australian, but has an Irish passport. A gift, leg side, short, and helped on its way by Jack Carty. 4 runs.
That's a nice introduction then, isn't it? Just help yourself to one around the corner. Delaney just straying down leg side. And thank you very much, says the new batsman. And gets off the mark in the best possible way. And 4 welcome runs for his side. Takes them to 62. 1 ball, if this is the penultimate over to come then. Looking to pass something past 70 at this stage, I would say. 75.
So fine leg goes back. I think I'd like to see David Delaney bowl around the wicket this field that he's got set, but he continues over. And a good finish. Really good finish. So 9 overs gone. Munster had 62 for 5.
That was the last ball of that penultimate over. Nicely bowled as well. Just to give you an update, by the way, from the under-19s, Ireland under-19s won the toss, elected to bowl against the Netherlands, and Netherlands in their 50 overs have made 179 for 8. 179 for 8, so Ireland would chase 180 for victory in that match. The Desert Springs Cricket Ground in Almere. Netherlands 179 for 8. Ireland, I think, will be happy enough with that, chasing 180 for victory, and they've got 50 overs in which to do it.
Yeah, thanks, John. I'll keep a close eye on that. Ruan Pretorius will bowl the final over. Full toss, but Thompson can only hit it down to long on for a single. Surprised not to see Ross Adair bowl his second over. He bowled a really good first over. Just too many bowlers perhaps for a 20 over match.
Yeah, only went for 6 in that opening over, but they're going to stick with Pretorius. He too has been pretty miserly, just the 7 runs from his 7 deliveries thus far. Need a big over here. 5 balls to come, having been asked to bat in this reduced game. Just 10 overs aside. Just be a leg by.
Missed out Jack Carty. He'll be disappointed. That was full on leg side. Just didn't make contact. they can get out of this over without too much tap, then I think Northern Knights have to go into the second half as favourites. It's not really enough runs on this ground.
No, they were going well at 11 runs and over, but now below 7.
Really good change up. Good placement from Mitchell Thompson. They'll take on the fielder. Easy 2.
Good running. Very good running. Tom Mays had to come a long way from the boundary for that, and they got home safely. Good understanding between this pair. So 3 balls to come then. 66 for 5. Change in the field. The final leg goes back to the ropes. They brought in the mid-off into the circle. Nicely pushing to the leg side. Should be 2 there. Certainly are going to come back. Yeah, well run. 2 to the total.
Yeah, just hit that in front of point and backward recover on the offside there. Really good running. He got away very quickly. Knew it wasn't going to be a boundary.
Just get as many as you can now. 2 balls to come.
The fine legs come inside the ring. Mid-off goes back to long off, so we might see some kind of little ramp played by Mitchell Thompson here.
Oh, misfield. That's poor. It's hit straight at the fielder and went straight through David Delaney. That wasn't great. Cracked hard at him, but he should have stopped that.
Yeah, it was hit hard. I think he just tried to get the body in the way. Did take some pace off it, so Ben White was able to cut off the boundary in the deep, but they've made a few mistakes in the field today. Northern Knights, they've taken any chances that they've had, but a few misfields. Hopefully it won't prove too costly for them.
Last ball then. It's right down the ground. They might come back for the second here. They certainly are going to try to get for the second run. And did they get home? They did. That's good running. In the end, I got the 2 to add to the total to take them past the 70 mark. 72 for 5 then at the end of 10 overs. Thompson unbeaten on 12. Carthy with the solitary boundary from the 3 balls that he faced. And that gives us our innings break. And at the resumption shortly, the Knights will require 73 for victory, having won the toss and elected to bowl. And 72 enough on this ground, do you think? May not be.
A big first 3 overs, I think, for Munster Reds with the ball. They'll have to perform really well. Once that run rate goes up, they could be in with a shout, but if they get a good start like the Munster Reds did, then you'd have to think they'll take it home. That's the card. Murray Commons looked good early on, but 1 shot too many. He went for 14. Matt Ford just couldn't get past Ben White, who spun a web around him. Fionn Hand struggled. 10. He scored 10 at a run of ball, and Thompson, some good running from him at the end with Jack Carty to close out the Munster Reds innings.
There's the partnerships. Commons and Ford, 27 between them, and 15 in the end between Thompson and Carty. Takes them past the 70 mark. 72 the final total. And there's the batting card.
And Adair looked good up front. Just 6 from his first over. 2 wickets for Ben White. He was top class. 3 runs from his 2 overs. And wickets for Pretorius and Delaney, as well as Mays on debut. Cian Robinson, just the 1 over for him. No wickets, but only went for 4. So good bowling performance from the Northern Knights.
So that's the way we stand. Northern Knights won the toss, selected to bowl, unsurprisingly. And at the end of the 10 overs, Munster Reds have made 72 for 5. So when we return shortly, it will be the Knights to bat, looking for 73 runs for victory in this, the penultimate match of the Cricket Ireland IP20 series. The big game at 3 o'clock is the Leinster Lightning against the Northwest Warriors, the winner-take-all match. If Lightning win, they take the trophy, and the other way around, the Warriors would take the trophy for the very first time. That's all to come, though, but we will be back shortly for the second half of this match with the Munster Reds making 72 for 5, so 73 required by the Knights for victory very shortly. And welcome back to the green for the Northern Knights reply, looking for 73 runs for victory in this penultimate game of the IP20 series. 72 for 5 is what the Munster Reds mustered together in their innings, and 73 runs needed for victory. Isabel Joyce, the former Irish women's captain, and John Caney on commentary for this reduced 10-over match ahead of the big one, which is the title decider between the Warriors and the Lightning, which will start at 3 o'clock Irish time. But 73 runs for victory. Is 72 enough? It's hard to tell, really, is it? As you said before we went to the innings break, Munster Reds really need to bowl well the first couple of overs.
Yeah, they need to start well. 72 is probably below what they were aiming for. I think they were looking at 90, 100 for a competitive total. 10 overs is quite a short amount of time to be going at 6.5, sevens. So Matt Ford will be opening the bowling. He'll be trying to not only take wickets, that obviously stifles the run rate, but also just go at a low run rate himself. We saw Adair open the bowling for the Northern Knights. He only went for 6. Matt Ford will have to do similar.
And immediately runs. Streaky they are. It's a good start for Ruan Pretorius opening the batting alongside Ross Adair. And Matt Ford, player of the match yesterday for the Munster Reds, took 2-4 and then contributed 63 as well to take them over the line.
Well, I think the Munster Reds have to put a slip in. He bowls the ball across the right-hander. If they're looking to take wickets, then they've got to think about having that slip in place. Unfortunately, the horse is bolted. The chance has already gone through that slip area. Two fielders out, long on, deep square leg. And without really too much effort, Northern Knights are already on 5.
You can see it, 68 runs to win off 57 deliveries, all 10 wickets in hand. You would think that would be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but still a long way to go.
Well, one good over, the thing in this kind of run chase, can push that required run rate up really very quickly. 1 or 2 good overs and it becomes much more difficult, so Northern Knights need to keep up with the run rate. Packed offside field, 5 fielders on the 1, so it's good bowling from Matt Ford. If you can jag a wicket now or just go for 1 or 2 in the final 2 deliveries, then he'll be doing well. And we're seeing a change in the field. He's sent Tyrone Kane out into the deep mid-wicket region and square leg comes in on the 1.
Kept a little low, that. At least the underside of the bat.
Yeah, probably not there to go in the back foot either. Not quite short enough.
Last ball then of the first over. Nicely cracked away. That's gone through the legs of the fielder, Josh Manley, but no real harm done. Just a single to end that over. 6 without loss.
It's a mirror image to the first over of the Munster Reds batting innings. 6 taken from the first over. That was also a spinner, Ross Adair. He's out with the bat now, though. I'll be pleased with that last shot. I know it was only 1 run, but he absolutely cracked that cut shot. Josh Manley could only just about get down and half stop it. And it's going to be that fielder who's going to take the second over from the pavilion end.
2 for 37 in his 4 overs yesterday. We only had the 2 overs today in this reduced over match because of the inclement weather conditions and the fact that the outfield didn't dry sufficiently this morning. We had a 2-hour delay, but we do have at least a match even though it is reduced, and the weather is set okay for the rest of the afternoon, so we should have a full game in our final match, the title decider between the Warriors and the Leinster Lightning, to come up after this game.
Expansive shot from Ross Adair. First ball from Josh Manley, dances down In fact, he was so far down, he felt like he had to run back in, make his ground. It's probably a good option. If he gets anything on that, that's a boundary.
Manley playing against his former side. Playing for the Ireland Wolves against Zimbabwe early in September. South African born. Another of the South African contingent playing in interprovincial cricket. A good start from him.
That's quick. Really good carry. That's absolutely thudded into the gloves of PJ Moore behind the stumps. I was talking to Fintan McAllister the other day, and he said, you know, the bowler's bowling well if you hear that sound of it hitting the gloves. Good carry.
A couple of changes for the Munster Reds today. No Gareth Delaney or Greg Ford today. Liam McCarthy comes in on debut, and Mitchell Thompson, we've seen him bowling earlier on. Outside edge, run for the fielder, and a misfield down there by Fionn Hand. Now he got his hand to it, tried to flip it back, canned off his body and over the ropes.
Yeah, that's unlucky. He's gone to flick it back in. Made good ground. Got down, and then actually it was into his left arm that he was using to balance himself. So 4 runs, 4 precious runs for Adair.
Lad.
Good soft hands from Adair. Down to the man in the deep at third man. Good rotationist strike after a boundary.
This is set up nicely now. 62 to win from 50 deliveries. Still plenty of wickets in hand, we know that, because it's the opening pair, Pretorius and Adair. It's a good bowling from Manley.
Yeah. You can find yourself in trouble very quickly in a shortened game. It's always a tough decision. Do you just go hard at every single ball, look for boundaries, or do you try and take the game deep? That's a really good bouncer. Absolutely inch perfect from Josh Manley.
Pretorius did well to get out of the way of that. Just swiveled back. You can see it here. Light delivery. Just over his shoulder. Good evasive action and had to take it.
Yeah, and what's really impressive with that leave is how he got his hands down and out of the way. Ducked out of the way, but made sure his hands and his bat weren't anywhere near the ball.
Stopped by Fionn Hand in the cover region to end that the second over. 12 without loss. $61 to win then from 48 deliveries.
That really was a great opening. 2 overs from the Munster Reds. Aaron Cawley's going to replace Matt Ford, a tall right armour. And really important that no bowler lets the Northern Knights off the hook here. 1 loose over could really help the Northern Knights out. We've seen it all weekend. Well, all weekend. We've only seen 2 games, but whenever the batsmen dance down the wicket, it doesn't really pay dividends. Usually when they stand still, they get much more value for their shots.
From horse and jockey County Tipperary, not for 40 in his 4 overs yesterday in the victory over the Warriors. Starts with a dot ball. Swung away down to Cow corner. There's a chase down there that might hold up in the damp conditions. Sliding stop down there. Good retrieval as well by Jack Carty. Prevents the boundary, but 2 more to the total.
Yeah, excellent chase from Jack Carty, and what's really impressive here is he slides, picks up and releases extremely quickly. Look at that, that's perfect technique. Gets right back up onto his feet and gets rid of the ball and kept it to 2.
Slower delivery. It deceives the wicketkeeper. PJ Moore comes off his hip and they run through for a bye.
Well, that's a wicketkeeper's nightmare. He did well, actually. Kind of went down a long barrier, PJ Moore. Very frustrating for him for that to go down as a bye against his name. But a good change up from Cawley. They'll just start getting a little bit nervous here. Pretorius and Adair need a boundary soon, and they'll get it. Just had the little bit of width Adair was looking for. Strongly played through the offside and finds the gap.
Yeah, it's a wonderful sound of the crack of the bat, square of the wicket, and it fairly flew to the boundary. Lovely shot. No chance for the fielders there. Sped all the way to the ropes, and 4 valuable runs. .54 now needed from 44 deliveries. That's short, and that's a gift, and that's gone all the way to the boundary. First maximum in this reply.
There was evasive action taken on the sideline. Really good work from the fielder over the rope. Got out of the way of that, but that's too short. Leg side has helped round the corner, really. 6 runs. 10 from 2 deliveries. Costly for the Munster Reds. And Aaron Cawley just letting the Northern Knights off the hook a little bit here.
Yeah, and this is what you're saying, that the game can change so quickly. Look at that, 4 and a 6 on this over, and it's suddenly back down to a much more manageable run chase. 48 from 43.
Yeah, bring it down to close to a run a ball, which is, and then a wide. So just losing his lines and lengths a little bit here, Aaron Cawley. There's just no room for error in T20 cricket, and even less room in 10 over cricket.
Yeah, you can see the first 3 deliveries there. There's a good chase down from McCarthy for the 2 runs as well. First 3 deliveries really good, and then that cracking shot off the back foot, square of the wicket, bringing the boundary, and then help yourself to around the corner 6, and then a wide, slower delivery, cracked away through the covers as well for 4. Very good over this for the Knights, and they end that on a positive note. 30 without loss.
Yeah, 18 runs from the over, finishes with probably the best shot of the over. Really full, but those wrists of Adair meant that it powered to the boundary. That's the end of the power play. A really good final over of that. 30 without loss after 3.
Well, there's the Warren comparison. Munster had lost a wicket at this particular juncture. These 2 openers have started well, but on 30 for the first 3 overs, so bang on 10 and over, which is exactly what they need. In fact, above what they need in terms of run rate. 43 now off 42, so basically a run a ball.
Well, Munster Reds were 33 for 1 from their first 3 overs. The fielders obviously are all nearly up inside the ring, so it is easier to score those boundaries. Those will drop out now. We're at the end of the power play as Mike Frost makes his first appearance from the pavilion end with his left arm spin. Big shot into the deep, chance.
And taken.
Great catch from Jack Carty down at wide long on. It was hit flat and hard, but he took a really good catch in the deep. First wicket down.
Oh, that was a tremendous catch as well. Quite close to where we are, diving forward and taking the catch in the difficult outfield conditions as well. Super catch. And first wicket falls with a score on 30, and they needed that just to stop that momentum. And as the new batsman coming to the crease is Jeremy Lawler, the 25-year-old Welsh-born Lawler, who's an Irish passport holder. Played first-class cricket for Glamorgan at one stage, spent a season at Phoenix in Dublin, and recently signed for Carrickfergus ahead of the 2021 season. And he comes out to join Adair with a score on 30 for 1 now.
Well, they're going to need moments of magic like that, Munster Reds. Defending probably a below par total. Mike Frost, wicket with his first delivery of the day. They did cross, so Rossiter will be on strike. Jeremy Lawler will watch from the non-striker's end.
Carthy's certainly in the game now, doing the fielding after that catch. Cracked down the ground, but couldn't beat the man in front of us.
He's got incredibly good wrists. Rossiter just whips the bottom hand through at the last second to get extra power. So that one was flying. Good work in the deep from Carty. Cut it off. Saved 3 runs. Now the new man, Jeremy Lawler, on strike. Brave flight from Mike Frost. They know they need wickets here at Munster Reds, so you don't mind seeing him just give it a little bit of air, trying to draw Lawler forward into a false shot. Rossiter was annoyed with himself the last ball. He felt he should have hit that for a boundary swing of the bat, so we might see him go very hard now. Swiped into the leg side. Really good opening over this from Mike Frost. There's 3 from it and a wicket. 2 deliveries left.
Stifled appeal. But it's a dot ball, and they're important at this stage. Every dot ball with just being its own pressure. 3 runs on the wicket. As Isabel was alluding to so far, good stuff from Frost after the previous over, which went for 18.
That's an excellent finish to the over from Frost. 2 dots to close out that one. 4 overs gone, and Northern Knights 33 for 1.
Yeah, batsman fortuitous here. Big, thick inside edge.
Not sure what went wrong there for Lawler. He looked surprised that the ball kept on going with the arm, but Frost not really looking to turn any of the deliveries that over. Just looks a little bit uncomfortable, Lawler. It's never nice coming out and facing spin first up. So first look at Liam McCarthy on debut today. It's a big responsibility coming on now. Game is really in the balance.
Yet another of the South African contingent, 19-year-old from Johannesburg. Great grandmother hails from County Cork. Great grandfather from County Clare on debut. And hello. Adair takes a liking to him immediately and cracks it through the covers for 4.
Dispatched. Real disdain there from Adair. Too short, had the width, and that bottom wrist just comes through to force the ball forward of cover. There's no cutting that off in the deep.
Former pro rugby player Ross Adair, brother of Mark, who's not involved today. 1 cap for Ulster. Another one into the covers. There is a sweeper down there. Long run across though. They should come back for the second easily enough and do so.
I think that cover field is too square. There's not enough pace from Liam McCarthy for it to go that square. He needs to come forward. That's where it's likely to go, and you can just see he's checking with his captain that he can move a little bit further forward. Rossiter does whip that bottom wrist through, so hits it straighter than usual. Dances down, and once again a miss from that option. Not sure why they keep trying to do it, John.
Yeah, kept it a little low as well. That's the previous delivery from McCarthy. They're looking for the big heave. Slip by Jeremy Lawler as he came to the striker's end. Getting back to his feet a little gingerly. It's still pretty damp out there. There's a wind blowing across the ground and a bit of watery sunshine around as well. Yesterday was a very pleasant evening. It's a little cooler today. Temperatures certainly have dropped. We're certainly heading into the autumnal period now here in Ireland. there on 29 from 16. Lawler's just a single, and they don't need to panic here. It's a run of ball to win. 9 wickets in hand too. Munster Reds, they need wickets.
The problem now for the Munster Reds is that they can bowl a good ball, it goes into the pad and it's still a single, and that's good enough for the Northern Knights. It's really difficult as a bowling team to defend a run of ball. Have to defend the boundaries but also the singles. And that one's gone right between the fielders, backward of point. 4 more runs and a disappointing finish to the over for Liam McCarthy.
Yeah, nicely played. Backward of square. Splits those 2 fielders. And that ends the 5th over. 45 for 1. Chasing 73 for victory in this reduced overs match. That's the Munster Reds bowling card so far. The big over there, that's 17 runs from Cawley, has really put the Knights in the box seat.
What can Mike Frost do? Went for just 3 in his first over. And Jeremy Lawler just looks very uncomfortable against the left arm spinner.
Yeah, that's the problem there, because the previous ball was a dot ball. That one just a little bat on ball, walk through for the single. It's difficult to be defending this with a run of ball. It's just far too easy at the moment for the Knights. Oh, what a shot that is. We can hear from the tents to away to our right hand side. A huge 6 heaves down the road. Beautiful shot, and that gets them even closer to the target now.
This is launched by Ross Adair down on one knee, clears the front leg, and the power of the man. It didn't even look like he hit it that hard. And that one's gone for good. Match referee Phil Thompson, he's had to make a few journeys out into the middle for lost balls in the last 2 days. That's just an incredible shot. He wants to finish this one early, Ross Adair.
Oh, no doubt. 39 from 18 deliveries, partnership of 22 in just 7 minutes. Just 21 now off 27 balls, 9 wickets in hand. This is as easy as it gets, and when you're cracking shots like that and you're in form, well, this should fall over the line pretty soon. 5.3 overs, and Adair looks imperious out there.
He needs to take the pace off a little bit here, Mike Frost, when someone's going at you like this. Well, he bowls shorter and quicker. Outside off stump, which was the key, has the fielder right there. Keeps it to 1. He'll want to bowl the rest of his over at Jeremy Lawler.
The Reds, you feel, just didn't get enough runs on the board. They were going at 11 runs and over at one stage, but the last 3 or 4 overs of their innings weren't of the runs required, and it dipped below 7 at one stage. There's a fielder down there, straight into the arms of Murray Commons. Ends that over. 6 completed, 55 for 1. There's the batting card. Pretorius the man out. Great catch from Carthy on the boundary off the bowling of Frost, but Adair is in top form out there. Just 20 balls for his 41, and batting to come from Tector, Rock, Matchett, Dave Delaney. And Northern Knights really are in a very, very handy position with 4 overs to go, requiring 73 for victory to win this penultimate match of the IP20 series here in Comber. And it's swept around the corner.
Mitchell Thompson into the attack, the leg spinner. Swept away first off. He batted at the end of the innings for the Munster Reds. I find it difficult, truth be told. 12 runs from 13 deliveries. And he really needs to take a few wickets if the Reds are going to be in with any chance. Clubbed down the ground by Jeremy Lawler. He's just going to keep on giving the strike back to his partner Ross Adair, who's been hitting them so sweetly so far today. Misfield dived over it, but good fielding from Commons. In fact, that's not Commons. It's Fionn Hand. They don't even look alike. I'm not sure how I mixed that one up. But anyway, kept it to 1.
In the air. Fielder down there. Drops short. Good attempt.
Yeah, really good attempt from Liam McCarthy. Those are really difficult because if you get it wrong, it can bounce up into your face quite dangerously. So he did well in the deep.
Pumped down the ground. Sorry we didn't get the replay of that one, but just landed short. But the runs are coming now. And Dare and Lawler just easing the ball all around the parts of the ground. Singles will do them. 13 to win off 19 balls. It's as easy as it gets.
That's incredible timing and placement from Jeremy Lawler. Got into a great position and hit it strongly between the two fielders. 4 runs.
Yeah, nicely played off the hips. Round the corner. Nothing that Fionn Hand could do about that one. And that ends the 7th over. 64 for 1.
Ross Adair closing in on his half century. Just needs 6 more, but there's only 9 more runs to win. And a mountain to climb for Munster Reds. They're going to bring Josh Manley back into bowl from the pavilion end. Back into the attack.
Just the 1 over for him so far. This is the second and final one for Josh Manley. Went for 6 in his 1 and only over so far. They're on 44 from 23. Obviously anxious to get to his half century before the end of the match. 9 runs now needed.
Backs away, but good bowling from Josh Manley.
A bit of swing there as well. Stepping away. It's a dot ball. 64 for 1 still. 9 to win. Well, that's 6 less now. What a shot that is. And what a way to bring up your 50.
A strike rate of 200 from Ross Adair. No surprise that he hits a big 6 to bring up his 50. He's been blasting it around the ground. Match-winning performance at the bat from Adair. Struggled early on, actually. But once he started scoring them, he just can't seem to stop. Just 3 runs now to win.
Just 3 runs needed for victory now. 73 is the total. 70 for 1. And it's a very good knock. Run a ball knock from Adair to take them over the line. That's beautifully played. And that wraps things up. An easy win in the end for the Knights. Munster Reds having won yesterday. second defeat of the weekend, and it was oh so easy, and a great knock from Rossiter.
What a way to finish it. Pure class, just leans back, allows the ball to hit the face of the bat, down to third man for 4, and a deserved victory for the Northern Knights after a frustrating weekend for them. They come away with a well-earned victory. Munster Reds got off to a good start, but it was Ben White when he came on. 2 overs, 2 wickets, 3 runs. He really changed the course of the game. And then Rossiter came out into the middle, blasted 54 not out from just 27 deliveries. It was a good start with the ball from the Munster Reds. But once he got going, Rossiter, he just kept going. So Munster Reds will finish bottom of the table. And it depends on the outcome, I think, of this afternoon's game, where the Northern Knights will end up. They can't win the tournament. So this last game, match 6, this IP20 festival at the Green in Comber, will be the deciding match of the whole competition. Leinster Lightning taking on the Northwest Warriors. Northwest Warriors currently on 20 points, Leinster Lightning on 18, but whoever wins will take the trophy. That's the Northern Knights batting, just 3 men needed. Rossiter 54 from 27. Lawler knocked it around with him, 9 from 10. Pretorius the 1 wicket to fall, good catch in the deep from Carty. Frost was good when he came on. Just 7.4 overs required to chase down the targets set by the Munster Reds. Partnerships, just 2 required. The opening partnership of 30 between Adair and Pretorius, and then Lawler and Adair finished things 44. Adair the main aggressor in that one. And the bowling card, Matt Ford, just the 1 over for him, 6 runs. Manley was good, went for 16, his 1.4. Cawley let them off the hook, he was expensive, 17 from his 1 over. Frost was really good, 1 for 13 from 2. And the solitary wicket taker for the Munster Reds. Liam McCarthy on debut went for 11 in his 1 over. So that's a summary. Munster Reds didn't quite score enough, 72 for 5 in their 10 overs. Matt Ford looked good until Ben White came into the attack. He made 21. And then a few starts from Commons, Thompson and Hand, but no one could really get going. Ben White, the best bowler of the day, 2 for 3 from 2. And then the Northern Knights, Adair, as we've mentioned, blasting the ball around, finished really strongly, 54 not out for him. Northern Knights win by 9 wickets. That's it from me. I'll hand over to John Kenny for the post-match presentation. He's got the player of the match.
Yeah, thanks Isabel. No surprise. Rossiter's our man of the match, 54. That looked easy out there, but you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. Really enjoyed it. Nice to get a bit of cricket finally after a lot of waiting around over the last couple of days. But yeah.
Yeah, difficult obviously a 10-over match to get into your stride, but you seem to enjoy it out there, as I said.
Yeah, no, the shorter the format, the more I get into it. Tend to just go from ball one, no matter what sort of format I'm playing. So, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, bit of frustrating time, as you say. Obviously, just waiting for matches to go ahead. At least you got something in today as well. So, I know it's the end of the season as well, but you're feeling in good form.
Yeah, it's sort of the last few weeks of the club season. I maybe lost a bit of form, but it's nice to finish on a high, I guess.
Yeah, you also played well in the Future Series too. Recently, you got a few runs.
Yeah, I got that 100 down in Kildare, and then I think I ended up with. I think that was the only runs I got in the tournament. Like, so I got a couple of ducks after that, but that's the way cricket is. Sometimes you get runs and sometimes you don't, and that's just it.
Sure. Domestic season is wrapping up here.
Yeah.
What's the future plans for you over the winter? What will be happening for Rossiter?
Well, I've packed in the club rugby stuff, so I want to take my cricket a wee bit more seriously and try and hit as much as I can over the winter. And I'm looking forward to getting going with that after some time off. But yeah, that's the sort of future plan for me over the winter.
congratulations to the new Player of the Match award. Terrific knock, 54, which helped to take the Knights over the line and get that victory by 9 runs. So that's all wrapped up, that reduced game. 10 overs aside, we will have a full match, hopefully coming up very shortly. It's the title decider. It's Leinster Lightning against the Northwest Warriors. The winner takes it all. Will the Warriors win the IP20 trophy for the first time, or will the defending champions get over the line? There's 2-point difference between these two sides, and it is winner takes all. 3 o'clock start for the big one, Leinster Lightning against the Northwest Warriors. We'll be back here at the Green in Cobber very shortly for Game 2, the final match of this week.